So before we go into your own Q&A, what all the members did when they had their orientation was write what motivated them down on a leaf, and then we put it up in a tree. Similarly, going through grad school, it's hard stuff, and you need something to continue to motivate you going forward. Can you please share what is one struggle you faced and how it has fueled you to do what you're doing now?
Definitely, being part of like the community I came from and the background and the experience I've had, higher education was always mostly, like even just college, it was mostly just a dream. It was not a reality, but I think the more students of color get more educated and pursue as high as they want to, it definitely helps turn those dreams into actual reality for people. It's just not dreams, like this can happen to you. So I think that's definitely changing like some of the norms in our community. So students are expected to just move on and go into higher education, where I think right now it's still like it's moving towards that goal, but right now it's like like you go, but I feel like the more of us go and attend, it'll just become a norm. And so that's kind of what I want it to be, to elevate our communities higher as well.
Well, one thing that has fueled me would be negative professors and or supervisors, because they will come and they will say what they want to say, and I don't know how many of you are in comm disorders, but there's the speech language pathologist, which is the speech therapist, and the speech language pathologist assistant, which is a step down. And I have had friends who have told me, oh, so-and-so professor told me my GPA is not good enough, so I should consider being a SLPA, because there's SLP, SLPA. And it hurts, and that's really crushing. That's like, you're not really good enough to be an SLP, so just, go be a SLPA. No, there's nothing wrong with being a SLPA, that's fine, and there are SLPAs who have gone into grad school, and that looks good on an application, but, don't let them tell you that, or, well, they'll tell you that, but don't let it get to you, is what I want to say. And even in grad school, you will have supervisors who will not be I can take critique, I can handle it, but when it's told to you in a way that is rude and condescending, it's hurtful. And there will be at least maybe one moment where you will cry in grad school because of that. Yeah, at least. Because it happened. And so it'll pass, and you will be fine. Just, keep your eye on the prize. Don't let negative criticism, and even though they are professors and supervisors, it's like they forget, you were a grad student once, you were an undergrad once. I don't know why they feel they have the right to speak to students that way, but it'll happen, and don't let it get to you.
Yeah, and I think, you as a group particularly have already gone through different challenges in your own lives, and I think it's important to recognize your own resilience and your ability to bounce back from different adversities in your life. And so I think those are things to remind yourself about as you're going through these difficult times, whether it's a rejection from an application, or a professor saying, maybe you should think about something else, or a closed-minded classmate who might make a comment about your community. So just use all these to fuel yourself to make a better community.
For struggles, I think my biggest struggle was the constant closed doors. Like every single time I tried, like it was always like, nope, not that one. Like that constant rejection of like kind of having to declare my major, not really being passionate about it, or going to community colleges after I've actually established what I really wanted to do and not getting into those classes. There's so many times where I had to sit in a class for the first day of class and try to get added to the wait list, and then the professor said no. And then it was just years of just like, because I had my stepdaughter, it's like I had to be a mom too, so it's like, is this really worth it? Do I have to, like, I'm struggling with mommy time and then trying to go to school at the same time, and then she happened, and it was just so much going on. I just didn't know if it was worth it. But in hindsight, I realized that all those struggles had to happen to be where I am today. I am so happy where I'm at, like Stanbridge College, and the people that I'm in, the cohort that I'm in, it's just such an amazing cohort. I'm with all these awesome people that we're really kind of vibing together to become as like the best therapists as we can. We really support each other. I really like it at Stanbridge, and none of this would happen if I gotten into USC or Cal State Dominguez or Loma Linda. Like, I wouldn't be able to be a mom and be with my girls and spend time with my husband and go to school at the same time, because at Stanbridge it's just 2 days. I just go to school Tuesday, Thursday. So, like, I know that you guys will struggle, and there's been a lot of struggles, but every single struggle, like I said, it will lead you to where you have to be. You just have to have that tenacity and that perseverance to, okay, well, it didn't happen this time, I gotta keep going. Like, it will happen. You gotta have that mentality where you have that eyes on the prize kind of thing, and believe that it will happen for you. No matter what's going on, just keep going and it will happen. Because no matter what struggle is in front of you, you're stronger than any of that struggle. So it might be hard now, it might be real hard now, like to the point where you want to quit. And there's many a times where I've been studying for finals and studying and writing my thesis project and working with my group, and I'm like, F this, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'll just be a mom. My husband can just make the money. No, but like, you just have to keep going. Just you already established that this is what you want to do. That passion will show. That passion will be your motivation. So kind of just keep your head up, chin up till you get there. Fake it till you make it.
Can I share one more experience?
Sure.
So she was talking about negative professors overall. So when I was applying to doctoral programs, I would definitely say visit the schools and get an idea of like the relationship you'll have with those particular advisors. So I was really interested in working with this particular advisor. He was Latino, first generation, and I was like, he does a lot of research in the community in Santa Ana. I was like, oh my goodness, like that's who I want to work with. And I visit him, super excited, and as we're like talking, I realized, this is not the person for me. One of the things he had said was, as a Latina, you're already seen as a lesser student in professors' eyes. You don't know how to write, you don't know how to do this. I'm just warning you. Like, this is how it's going to be. And I realized, like, every advisor has different ways of talking to students. Like, there could have been other ways to, like, go about it. Like, we might have to do a little bit more, writing workshops or something like that. But the way it was posed and the way his outlook, he's like, I'm not sure you're strong enough to deal with it. And so I felt like, I don't know if that's maybe because he grew up on certain mentalities in terms of like, women are weak. So that was something else. I realized like, hey, definitely not the school I want to go to, not the advisor I want to have. And so I definitely say visit schools, and like she was saying, don't let anyone determine your success. Like after that talk, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. He was the very first person I visited to just talk about doctoral programs, and I was so disillusioned. I'm like, is every school going to be like that? Am I seen as a lesser student because I'm a student of color? So I actually reached out to one of my friends who's currently at UCLA, and she's doing her PhD in public health or community health sciences. And I called her. I'm like, I'm so sad. Like I was crying because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. He like just shattered my dreams. And she's like, no, like. Because something else he had said is like, don't go into grad school thinking you're going to make change. There's other ways of making change. And I felt like maybe he's disillusioned where he is right now, something, maybe his personal problems. But I'm like, no. Me and my friend are always like, we're going to make change. The only way we can change the system is if we're in the system and we try to make change within. So I think that's definitely something that definitely support each other. Make connections. She was an MPH student, but she was a year ahead of me, and I ended up meeting her, and we just formed a bond. We were from the same community, and even now, like we still keep in touch. Even though she's at UCLA, she'll call me if she's having a hard time with something. She's like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, no, like you have this, you got me through that first time I was crying, I'm like, I'm gonna get you through this time, like, I'm gonna be in grad school, I'll be calling you soon too, like, well, for doctoral programs, I'm like, I'll be calling you soon too, but we can get through this, we just have to push through, in order to make this possible for other students as well.
And so even though you guys have probably just met the person to your right or your left, you're part of the first cohort of the Allied Health Academy, and you know, the reason why we're having you as a cohort is because we want you to go through these things together, so you can start to create that support system for each other. And you know, even though you have different career paths, you might be different majors, having someone to talk to share these types of experiences, because you can see like these three women are in different fields, but they have similar struggles, and you can already hear from the stories that they've shared that there are things that they can learn from each other and that can inspire each other, and so hopefully that's what you all can be to each other.